Hello, this is Sherry. It's Paper Me Happy. Today I got auto ship on the slimline shadow box, Sympathy and Outdoor Nature. Did make a 3D card, but I'm gonna use it a little bit different, and because I thought with Father's Day, with being at the next holiday, I would jump ahead and try to do a Father's Day. These are really cute dies, and the stamps are really adorable. So my card's going to be an A2 size card, and I'm going to first, I cut my paper. It's white cardstock that I got from Walmart at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm taking an embossing folder that has the wood grain. I'm going to stick it in here. Now it's going to be a little bit bigger, but we will figure out what we're going to do. Hopefully this looks okay. So I'm going to emboss this real quick. And it gave the wood grain paper. I didn't wet it or anything because this isn't a thick cardstock or anything. It's from just a bright white. So I'm going to take the Diamond Press ink pads, the natural ink pad color, and we're just going to go across the top of it, just real lightly, to pull out the grain of the wood. And what I figured I was going to do is I'm going to take the centerpiece that cuts out the 3 windows, and I'm going to center this into the middle, trying to center this in the middle also, that it's going to cut me out like 3 windows, well actually two, but the one's going to be split up pretty good. So I'll washi tape this down and run it through the die machine, the marquise. And I'm going to use a big folder, a well-loved one. Put it in here. Put it off on a little bit of an angle. Maybe not that much. I don't want my card to get crumbled. Oops, sorry. Give you a ride there. And I'm going to keep these pieces. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not, but when I pull this off, I have that. Then I cut another piece about the same size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because I want to lay this on top and see how we'll make it like that. And I'm just trying to debate. I'm going to take this off, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink these all up in the background in a blue. Try to do it really light. I'm going to still stick with this neutral. This might be pretty dark, but I'm going to just see what happens here. And I'm just going to go around because I'm trying to figure out, this is the whole, and just keep switching around. The inks are really nice to work with. Okay. And that looks like it will be covering it pretty good. Okay. So what I'll do now is I use watercolor paper, and I usually color my paper instead of buying all different kinds of colored paper. And I used marker and just wetted it down with these water brushes and put it on here, and I let it dry, and I keep these to use for cutting out different objects in whatever I'm using. So since I know that this side won't take the whole mountain, what I'll do is I'll just lay it about here. And I know I'll be trimming it anyhow. Wait, I'm going to pull it over a little bit. And just trim this across the top. Put this one back in and run it through. And just to judge here how I'll be laying it, so it will run out over a little bit. Okay, so I will cut a full one now for the center one. The only thing is I do not really need I'm going to take it this way because I don't need all of that, the tab, because I won't be making it three-dimensional. So I'm just going to cut up around, down, and try to save some of my green paper. Okay. And I'll hold this down, run it through again. For my centerpiece, and I'll probably trim it up a little bit. This is just getting a rough cut. And one more piece. And this one I need it for this side. Okay. I don't even think I need that much, do I? Nope. I'll take it over to here. That way I don't waste too much either. Okay. I'm gonna run this one through quick. I usually like to have these all pre-cut, and then I can put them together for you, but this is something new I'm gonna try. Putting one so you can see how my brain thinks sometimes. It's scary, so I'm just warning you girls and guys. Okay, so I cut along that perforated line because I know it's going to be going in here. And laying in there. And then it had snow peaks. And I'm going to cut them out in the white. This I'm still going to use my watercolor paper, so I will need 3 sets of these too. You know what? Don't really need to use the big one for this, and I'm going to use a little one. Run this through quick. And I'm going to hit pause. Okay, so I decided to cut some of these out ahead of time so it'd be easier. And I cut out a tree, the small trees, and one big tree, and the stream or whatever comes. It looks like a stream coming down. So I'm going to take this, the Diamond Press oil pastels. They came out of that Ultimate marker set. And I color with these a lot with my water pens. And how I would do it is I usually like put a line in across the bottom. Or however, to make the depth or whatever, to make it look deep. And then I will take the water pen, and these I got from Hobby Lobby, and it has the water in it already. And as you stretch out the water, and you can blend it all the way up in, and I'm still using watercolor paper, because it just seems that it works so much nicer, that I can get a watercolor effect on it. And as you're switching it around, it gives more of a lake or stream effect. And I'm not a professional painter, I just like painting, and this is the way I do things. And I'll let that dry for a little bit, and that will be your stream. And all you do is squeeze the water and till it comes clean, and your brush is clean. And I keep a wet one all the time. Now I'll wipe this up. Now I have the green trees. Now the green trees, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lime and this dark green, and I'm going to scribble it on my acrylic block. That way I can blend the colors on the tree. And I'll just scribble and scribble. And if I need more, I'll add more to it. And I just squeeze and add my water, and it makes it like translucent. And I will just go through the tree like this. Keep one this, like limey green. And the other one I'm going to make it a darker green. And what I might do is a little bit darker underneath the under branches. I might take the dark green and just like put it marks underneath it for like shadowing on the branches, and then go back with it to the brush, and you'll see it will blend it in more to give it an effect on the tree. And there's one tree is finished. And I'll bring it up to show you. And I'll let that dry. And then this one, I will use what I have left over, blending them together to give me a different color green. And I'll take the dark green again, doing the lines under the branches every so often. I love these oil pastels. They really are so creamy to work with. And you don't even hardly use anything when you're using them. And I'm just gonna continue blending with the brush. That gives you more of a forest look. And then that one is like that. Okay, so that's about how I do my water painting to make the watercolor. And I went and pre-cut the peaks, the snow peaks on these mountains also. And I think they're gonna need a little bit of something too. So I was thinking I might get the purple, the darker purple, and add to the block here and do the snow peaks. Now this one I have a finer brush, but I think I'm gonna take it to the bottom of the peak and brush up and over, just to add a little bit of interest on this too. And then it would just be, I like the watercolor look on my papers. I'll just color them all. Then that way they're all finished. Even if I don't use them, I'll save them. I always put my extra pieces in with my kits when I put them in the folder. And then if I go to do another project, I have pieces to work with. Okay. All right. And I'll just clean my block off with the wet one. And now I'll just grab all these pieces here and take my Nouveau Deluxe. And this is probably going to get cut off. I know it is. So I'm just going to take this and glue just a wee little bit here. Put that on the top of that peak. And I think this one goes here. Yeah. I guess you could put it any way you want it. Put too much glue on, but I'll fix that. And push that up. Oops. This one won't need to be trimmed too, right where the creases are, because you can see where it would fold to make the 3D card. The other one will need to be cut also. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna make this look like the faraway peak of the mountain with snow on. And I'll bring this one over. Put this one here. And you can do whatever you want. This is just how I create. And I know this is not going to need that other peak. So I'll just put this one on. And you know what? Keep this one a little bit of, because I put too much glue on. Put that up here. Okay. All right. And when the watercolor paper is, it like curls a little bit because it was so wet. So this one's definitely going to have to be trimmed because I know that was there to that end. Okay. I'm going to save them pieces up there. All right. So the back piece, I know I will be gluing flat. I'm going to keep everything flat, no dimensional on it. And the first one I know I want to keep up in here. Along with the stream. I might have the stream come on over. Bring that down just a hair. Okay, so I kind of judge, and then I will hold the pieces like this to glue them. And this is just the way I do it. I will glue here and hold it, pinching it. And I'll go over here and I will glue in here and pinch it. And I'm trying to judge how I want to put this one in. To lay it down. Because I really did not want to cut much of this peak off. But maybe, yeah, I might. No, I'm going to keep it like that. Okay, so I will glue this one right about here. Then I'm keeping it down. Looks like a hot mess back behind here, but that's all going to be glued down. Okay, and then this one I'm going to keep down also into here. I'm going to lay this on top to make sure that I don't go too far over. Even though I know I will be right about here. I wanted to put this tree here. Okay, that will work. I'll just tack it right here just a little bit. Before I go any further. What I want to do is stand it up to make sure that it lines up. I'll just have to trim that then. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue all along here and up, over. To lay it on my card to make sure that it does not come up. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try standing it up so I know it's laying flat. And it will be flat there. I must have missed a point. I did. Like I said, it seems that the watercolor paper, it's much more dense and thicker, and it does curl on me. It's holding this down. And then I can rub the little bit of the glue away. Okay, so now what I want to do is, I know that I'm putting the stream out over a little bit, but I want to put one of those deer in because they are so cute. And I'm going to take the acrylic marker, or the block, and I'm going to use the Ranger black ink because I want to heat emboss this so the deer is shiny. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump the heat, this is clear embossing powder. Okay, just take my heat gun to it. And you'll see how it will brighten and make it darker. It doesn't take long, see? And I'll dump my clear embossing powder back in. Keep this out. Be using that for my letters. Okay. So now I'm going to glue this on. Because there's a lot of texture on this on the wood grain. And I'm going to put this in here. because I like mine going out over the lines. Okay. And I'll bring that over here. And lay my hand on top for a weight. I might have to take my acrylic block. I'm going to wipe this off quick. Put this on. Put my marquise on to weigh it down just a little bit. I'm going to take the other green tree and throw that on the other side. Put the block back on there again. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to trim this up on the back side so I know that this will not be hanging over on my card when I go to put it on the front, and make sure I have my card open the correct way. And I do it the same way I lay it down like this. So I'm going to glue this up. I'm going to stand it up, lay it that it's matching up on the sides and on the bottom. Put my marquise on for some weight. And while that's holding up a little bit, I do know that I am going to use this Thinking of You stamp off of here, and I'm going to cut out Dad. So while that is working, I'm going to take a piece of the white cardstock again, and I'm going to stamp that with the acrylic block again and use the embossing powder so it pops. And I'm going to do it down here so I don't have to cut too much. I just like keep bossing everything because it really makes your card pop. It gives me a satisfaction watching it turn to the darkness. It gives that shininess to it. Okay, so I'm going to trim this. I think I'm going to just go up. I got to use my big scissors for this side. I'm going to trim it up here. I don't know if I'm going to keep it a rectangle. I might go around and do fussy cut on it to give it a rounded look. Yeah, I'm gonna. So I'm just gonna I'm not very good at fussy cutting yet. But I gotta keep quiet or I'll cut too much off. Okay. So I have to debate where I'm gonna put that. I took the Diamond Press Spooky die set and I'm gonna use the DAD. And I'm going to use, I have this pearlized paper, and since I have it in the woodsy, I'm using this bronzy brown to cut out Dad. And I'll just cut these two out first, laying it down and cutting this way. Do the marquise. And I'll cut out another D. As you can see, my papers are all chopped into different shapes. I don't cut into squares. This is how I am all the time. Just make sure I have enough to cover and chop. And save my papers that I don't use. And put it back in the paper pack, and that way I know if I need a little piece, I can find it. Okay. I just think these dies are cute. The alphabet. Okay, so now I have to decide, am I going to go with it here in the center, like thinking of you? DAD. To take it in the center. I'm not sure yet. How do I want to do it? Yeah, I might do it that way. Okay, so the way I'm going to do it is, I know that A will be my center of my card, or my alphabet. So I will glue that one down first, and because the point here comes with the A, the only thing is I do want to make sure that I have it lined up on the bottom. So I will take my roller and put it on a line. Oops. To make sure I'm straight. And then I'll do another letter here by gluing it. Now I have to decide, do I want to put it, or should I put it in center up here? Yeah, to keep it uniform. I will do that. And I didn't put a drop shadow. You probably could put a drop shadow on it, but I'm going to have it down here. Put the ruler back. And there you go. A nice Father's Day card made with the slimline. And I like mixing the dyes, but this one has its good, and it makes a nice, beautiful eyes 2 card. And what Dad would want, a beautiful Father's Day card. And well, thank you for looking and watching on my channel, and I'll keep making more, and I appreciate everybody liking and subscribing. Thank you so much, everybody, and everybody have a great day.